And I can't tell if we're live yet or not. It says connecting, but we'll give it a second and just see if we're live or... Hey, I guess we're live. Jimmy's on. What's up, Jimmy Carr? How you doing? Michael James, Rick Rosa. All right, everybody's jumping in. Very, very cool. I have to use my phone because, there we go. That's a little bit better. Because my laptop, I couldn't get it to couldn't get it to cooperate with me on the Streamlabs thing that I was using. So, anyways, Paul Glover, what's going on? John, Pat, everybody. Hellface, what's happening? Yeah, it's okay. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad it's working. I got to get real close though because I have to be able to see the screen. So just give it a couple seconds more. Riley, how you doing? Metal Mike, how you doing? Not much. Everybody's good on my end. It's been a while since I've been on. As a matter of fact, this is the first video I think I've done from this place, from my new place. So it's kind of cool. I'll give you guys the grand tour in a few minutes. But yeah, everything's going well. Well, anyways, happy Sunday, everybody. I guess we'll get started. I got about 45 minutes or so, and I wanted to jump in and say hi. What's up, Jay? 708. How's that new baby, man? How's that new baby? Cool. Yeah, we're going to go over a bunch of guitars, Keith and Pat. Is the Ernie Ball EVH Trans Gold an EX or a signature? That is actually an EX. And I like it better than all my other EVH signatures. But good. I'm glad everything's going good, Jay. Awesome. All right, I guess we'll get started. So first off, I want to say hello to everybody. Like I said, it's been a while. This is the first video that I've done on my channel at my new place. So I'm going to give you guys pretty much a grand tour. I did do a show on Johnny Bean's, or kind of a thing on one of Johnny Bean's shows one time. We went live. But I figured it was time to do something here. It's just been crazy busy for me. I've been swamped at work. I'm in the mood of taking on a new job, a new career. Another new job, so this one should be pretty good. So I've been busy just setting up and getting used to my new place and everything. So Guitar Collector, what's going on? Hello. But anyways, first off, I want to wish everybody, I hope everybody's safe. It's been kind of a crazy world out there with a lot of stuff going on with this coronavirus. I mean, the world is just going absolutely bonkers, and I understand it. I think a little bit of it is overkill. I think people are going a little crazy with the toilet paper. I mean, I don't understand what toilet paper has to do with anything. How about food? Toilet paper. I mean, why not paper towels or baby wipes and toilet paper? It's kind of strange, but it is a serious thing. So I hope everybody stays clean and stays healthy and stays out of harm's way. The scary thing is people who are, younger people who are physically fit and younger kids and stuff, we may not even know if we have it. We could be carriers and be able to, unfortunately give it to people who shouldn't have it. Like, my mom and dad, I wouldn't want them to get it. My dad's 70 years old and he's got COPD. He's got a lung disease, and this disease kind of attacks the lungs. So but definitely got to be careful. So I've been trying to be careful, and everybody. But other than that, I hope everybody's doing well and all you guys stay safe out there and make sure that you're taking care of your families and doing everything you need to do. And hopefully within a few weeks or a month or two tops, this thing is no longer an issue. They can find a cure, and as it gets warmer and things like that, maybe things will tame down a little bit. But so anyways, Metal Mike says, let's see that purple music, man. Yeah. So we are going to go through some guitars, and I think what we'll do first is I'll just go over some of the new additions that I have, and we'll talk about those guitars for a little bit, and then we'll do a tour of pretty much everything, and I'll try to answer some questions. Just see, Simon Williams, how you doing? Greetings from the UK. Cool, very, very cool. Clean the guitar necks. Yeah. You had anything lately about Eddie's health? No, everything's been pretty quiet. However, I will say everything that I have heard, or the only thing that I have heard from a couple of my friends that are very close to that is Eddie is doing much better and things are going pretty well for him. And I hope that's the case. Music Therapy, how you doing? All right, so let's just jump right in and we'll talk about a couple of new guitars. So the first one that I'll show you guys is this new Music Man. And it looks like it's black, but it's not. It's just a real deep, oh man, you can't even see, it's like a mirror. It's very hard to tell, but it's a purple Music Man. It is a purple blue quilt. It's actually an EX. I got it off a really good friend of mine. And it's the headstock's been painted to be like Eddie's number 2. That's what the number 2 here is. Eddie had a number 2 on the headstock and the body. And this was his number 2 Music Man, and it was purple. I don't know if you guys can see it from here. Maybe get a little bit of, you can see a little bit of the quilt. It's a very, very, very deep purple, which I'm not 100% happy with. I like to be able to see it a little bit better. You can definitely see it, but you really have to look at it. It's very dark, but it's a really cool guitar, and it's got, you know, has a Gatto bridge on it. It has the exact Music Man pickups, which are the DiMarzio Tone Zone in the bridge and the Air Norton in the neck. Schaller tuners with the pearl heads. Basically, it's exactly the same. Low friction pot. So it's an EX, so it's a real deal. And it really rings out. So this is one edition. Now, a little bit of a thing on this guitar. I'm going to have Craig from CHS Custom Guitars, my buddy. I'm sending him the body next week, and I want him to sand it down and refinish it, retop it, and he's going to dye it and make it a little bit brighter of a purple. So this is a decision I made. I want to have that done because I want to be able to enjoy the color of it a little bit more. And so just something I am going to do with that. But I love this guitar. It's great. You can kind of see it is kind of a deep purple here. But a very, very cool guitar. I've had a bunch of Music Mans over the years, signature EVHs and a couple Axis's and a bunch of EXs. And I'll tell you, this one is a first for me. I've never had a purple one. So very, very cool. But let's see what we got for questions. Johnny Bean, what's going on? You need light in front of you. Yeah, I always need something in front of me, don't I? Let's see. You need lights, very dark, and that's probably why you can't see this as much. It looks more black, but yeah, I'm gonna have to get some more lighting down here to make it a little bit more visible for you guys the next time I do a video. What would you say is the main difference between the Music Man pickups and the Wolf pickups? Well, the Music Man pickups were DiMarzio's. And like I said, they were Tone Zones and Air Nortons. And they're very awesome pickups. And they're basically a little bit cleaner sounding than the PV. So when Eddie went to PV, and we've discussed this before on Johnny's show and with Dave and Jay and those guys, but when he went to PV, PV came up with some new pickups because he was not allowed to take these with him. It was part of the package of this guitar, from what I heard, nor could he take the body shape. That was something that Dudley Gimble came up with Ed and Sterling Ball and all that other stuff. But as far as the pickups are concerned, they devised some different pickups. Now, Eddie was changing his sound a little bit, so the Wolfgang pickups and the PVs are a little bit hotter. They're a little bit dirtier, a little bit more crunch to them, and that's my opinion, but a lot of other people share that. So that's the main difference. But and Eddie, like we said, Eddie's sound was changing, and the neck profile was much different. The Music Mans were like his 5150 neck. They were very, very thin, you know, wide, but very thin. And had the neck profile of his 5150 Kramer. And when he went with PV, the necks are a little bit fatter. And we'll get into that in a minute because that's going to be one of the next guitars. So this is one here, the Purple Music Man. Really cool guitar. So Craig is going to be refinishing the body. Now the next guitar, and you guys have been seeing some of this stuff on online on like Instagram and stuff. This is a guitar that I've wanted to do for a while. This is not my old tobacco sustainer. That is gone. Chad Wall actually has that guitar right now. So this is actually an Indonesian PV Wolfgang special. which I've never owned, and I've never really liked them because I always thought they were cheap guitars. Well, I stand a little bit corrected. Either that or I got a real good one. My thought process was on this. I wanted to make it like Eddie's standard PV Wolfgang. I wanted to make it like the you know, his main guitar that he played in '98 and '04. So what I decided was, I said, it's obviously not going to be an arch top. It's going to be a flat top, but I wanted it to be a quilt top like Eddie's, because the quilt top PV Wolfgangs are kind of you know, far and few between. So I got this particular one. I installed a tone pot. It doesn't work. It's just, I just drilled the hole, placed it right, and put a tone pot in there so it looks like that. The pickups in these guitars are the real USA pickups, so I did do a little research on that. The bridges on the original Indonesians are a little cheaper. So thanks to Chris Hubbard, I got this original USA PV Floyd Rose. And I switched out the tuners because the tuners are actually, on these guitars, are Grovers. And they're not bad tuners, they're just not shallower. So I got some shallower D drop tabs. And I got the pearl heads. So, and I swapped out the nut and I swapped out the string retainer. So basically, oh, and the other thing I did is on the Indonesian ones, the jack plate is chrome. They're supposed to be black on the USA, so I swapped that out. And then I added the 5150 stickers. And I'll tell you what, guys, this guitar, it plays great, it feels great, and it's actually been one of my main players. I don't know if you guys can see. It's a little low, but it's actually been one of my main players over the course of the last maybe couple of weeks or so since I've got it. It's just a great guitar, it really is. It's a really cool guitar. It rings out pretty nice. And these Indonesian ones, they actually, a lot of them didn't have the signature on the back of the headstock. This one does. And I really like the neck on this one. It really feels incredible. I'm definitely really digging it. It's a really cool guitar. And like I said, now that I got the USA PV bridge, it's got the brass block in the back. Very, very cool guitar. It feels good, plays good. Sounds good. Oh, the only other thing I did is I painted in the special so you can't see it says special. So at a first glance, it looks like a quilt top first year standard, which is the look that I was going for this particular guitar. And it came out better than I thought. But the only difference would be basically it's not an arch top. But I'll tell you, these quilt tops on these, they are pretty cool. If it was a little brighter in here, you could definitely see it. But yeah, definitely a really cool guitar. I'm really happy with it. Very cool guitar. So that's number 2. Let's see what we got for some questions. I love oatmeal with quiche and cinnamon. I'm missing a lot of the questions, guys. I apologize because I'm using my phone. Let's see. What do we got? Roth or Hagar? Hagar for me. But I love Roth too. Definitely Hagar now. We'll leave that one alone. Hef, what's up, my man? What's up? So, that's this guitar. And this is a new addition. It was pretty cool. It was like 4 new guitars in about a month. But I didn't buy them. They were traded for this. I sold this and I sold that. You guys know how I operate. Now, I'm going to save this green one for last because there's a little bit of a story about that with Nesdal, our buddy. So we're going to get into this guitar. This is the number 4 prototype EVH arch top, because the real one was, Wolfgang number 4, well, I already said it, prototype guitar that they did. And it was one of the main ones that he played on the 07 tour, 07, 08 tour. And it was number 4 because it was the 4th prototype, and they did, I think, approximately 7 of prototypes. And Eddie was typically playing the number 2 and the number 4. And if you guys see the new book by Andrew Bennett, Eruption in the Canyon, a very cool book as far as, I won't get into the stories and stuff, are they real or not. I'm not going to debate that, but I got my own opinion. But I'm going to talk about the pictures in that book. The pictures in that book are really cool, and you can see these guitars in that book. He was actually playing these back in those days, and he was road testing these guitars before they released the EVH Wolfgang. So this guitar is a guitar that I actually saw Eddie play this guitar back in 2007 on my birthday, October 5th, when they played at Foxwoods Casino in Uncasville, Connecticut. And it was really cool. I always liked it. And again, because it's a prototype, the headstock had nothing on it. It was the right shape, but they didn't have any logos or anything on it. And they were experimenting with all the stuff. And so they spray painted this gray number 4 on it from like a hardware store template. It had the first version of the EVH Floyd Rose pickup. And if you read the Guitar World magazine from, I think it's 2008 or 9, I forget which one, I have it here somewhere. It talks about Eddie and Matt. They took prior to one of the shows, they took an Eddie in one of his infinite states one day, wanted to change the sound. So he took a chisel with a hammer and they hacked out, because they didn't have a router, they hacked out the pickup cavity a little larger so he could move the pickup around until he could get the desired sound that he wanted. So that's what was done to this guitar. This is a PV Wolfgang standard body with a arch top like Eddie's, which makes it accurate because the body shape on these is exactly the same as the PVs. Chris Hubbard actually built this guitar. He painted it, sprayed it. I got the overspray on the number 4, really good. He did the hack job here in the pickup route. It was a prototype, so it had the old school tone knob. It didn't have the MXR knobs that they are using now. And the neck is actually a real EVH neck that he just sanded off the finish on. It's got the, they're actually Gatto tuners, because this guitar, I believe, had Gattos on it, because they hadn't, the EVH tuners are basically Gattos. Because it's a prototype, I figured we can get away with it. So that's this guitar, the number 4. Very, very cool guitar. And again, plays great. I really like it. Good feel. Excuse me. Yeah. What do we got for questions? And again, guys, I apologize if I'm missing some of your questions. Any pics of that guitar on the Discord? Oh, there's amazing pics of that guitar on the Discord. Johnny, I'm going to have to check those out, because I'm always looking for new pictures of this guitar. Let's see. All right. Let's see any questions yet, so we'll keep on rolling. So the number 4 guitar. Now, let's talk about a guitar that I used to have and don't have anymore, or I sold back about, I think, 2015. And again, I know it's dark, but this is the green Van Halen Deluxe Special. And there we go, now you can see it. Very, very cool guitar. I used to have one, and like I said, I sold it, and I regretted it, and I always wanted to have another one. This is the one that Eddie played back in 2004, and has the Fernandez sustainer in it. I just had this install done. It had the humbucker style in there, but I took that out, and I put this single coil one in there, the version 101, which is what Eddie used, with a 2-way switch here. So the green Deluxe Specials, the flame tops, were very, very hard to get. They were hard to find. They only made about, I think, 800 of them. They did a run of those. But very, very small number, and they're very hard to find. If you can find them, they're very expensive. So Dave Nesdell had this guitar, and it's one that I'd always wanted. And we did a trade. He got my green Music Man, because I was in the process of getting the purple one. So as much as I hated to see that go, it was an opportunity. So we did an even trade for this, and I'm really happy that we did. So like I said, I took the sustainer out that was in there, and I put the original single coil version in, like Eddie had, with a 2-way switch. It has an original Floyd Rose on it, like Eddie's did. and installed the big rod like Eddie had in his. Yeah, and this is a great guitar. Very cool guitar. One thing that Dave did to this guitar that I'd forgotten about that is really cool is he had Paul Unkert do what Eddie did to his and had the professionally installed snakebite nut done on this guitar, because the PVs did not have that. They were top-mounted nuts. But Eddie, on his tobacco one and this one, he had these done about halfway through the 2004 tour, I think is when he had that done. So Paul Unkert, being the man, Dave Nesdahl thought that it'd be a good idea to have him do it to his. So this is kind of a rare one. And I know you guys know how the sustainer sounds, but just have a little fun from it. Let's go on forever. So that's this one. Very cool guitar. And definitely one that I'd wanted for a while. So basically we have the purple Music Man, the tobacco PV, this green special, and the number 4 prototype. So those are the guitars that have been new to the collection over the course of the last, let's see, probably about a month, about the last month or so. So I'm going to be doing another video here pretty soon. And the only other guitar that I do have coming is something that I've wanted for a long time. And Chris Locke did the body and the neck, and Jeff Rich is doing the paint job right now. And that is a custom Snake Dragon guitar. And that is being built and painted, I should say, as we speak. And I'm hoping to have it sometime this summer. Just got off the phone with Jeff Rich the other day, and he's the man to do it. He's the one that did Hubbard's. There's some other people that do a great job on it too, but I've seen Jeff's work, and he just does an amazing job. So he is going to be doing a Snake Dragon for me, and that should be ready this summer. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'll keep you guys posted. So between the Snake Dragon coming in and then Craig redoing my Purple Music Man, it's going to be pretty neat. Definitely going to have some cool stuff to show all through the summer. So what do we got for questions? Anything else? What is the big rod sticking out for? I can't tell who asked that question. Kent? Is it Kent? Okay. Well, if you watch any of the 2004 shows of Van Halen back in that time period, Eddie was in kind of a weird mode. He had these big rods sticking out with a big eye bolt because he was playing a corded unit. He wasn't using cordless units at the time. So what he did was he actually had the cord coming out of the input jack and then going through the rod and then down. So it would keep it out of the way of his feet, or so he thought. I have plenty of videos of him still tripping on the thing. But the idea was when he's holding it, it kept the cord out of the way so he wasn't right near his feet. So he did that to all his guitars, including the Kramer 5150. So that's the thought process behind that. How do you make the cord holder that Eddie used on tour? Okay, so you must be talking about this one, Sam. Well, basically just a hardware store. You go get a cup link, a metal cup link, and you cut it in half, and then they like an Ace Hardware, then they have these. Just that's all they are, just hardware store stuff. You cut this in half, screw it in. You got to drill a hole in your guitar and jam it in, and it's pretty simple. Basic stuff. Are you playing through the mini amp? Yeah, I'm playing through my little Yamaha THR 10X. It's got the balance sound on. It's pretty cool. What's wrong with your arm? I don't know. I'm bleeding. It's horrible, Johnny. Look at that. I'm bleeding stripes. That's what you do to the 78 guitars. That's when you do. Let's see. What do you say, Riley? That's when you will do The 78 guitars. Oh, are you talking about when I do the Snake Dragon? That's a good point. I probably will wait to do that video for when I get that guitar, because that'll be perfect timing. I did think about that. It's a good idea too. So we'll definitely do that, Riley. Eddie's altered state ideas. Glad he's better now. Yeah, it was definitely kind of a weird time he was going through. Who built your 5150? I want one so bad, Sam says. Well, I'm going to show it to you in a couple of minutes. My 5150 is Chris Locke body and a Randy Butala neck. And Chris Hubbard did the paint job and the relic job and everything on it, and he did an incredible job. Are the Perloid buttons original? On which one, Hef? Are you talking about my tobacco one? If not, no, they're not. I had to put them on there. When will you do the guitars on the 1980 Invasion Tour, Austin asks. Well, now that you mentioned it, that definitely gives me something to do here pretty soon. So good idea, because I definitely have them. So that's a good idea. I have not done an Invasion Tour video yet, and I will be doing that. So that being said, let's take a tour of the guitar room, which I'm sure you guys would like to see. So let's see, hold on here. So when I do this, let's see how we swap this over. Okay, so when I do this, I'm not going to... Oh, I can still see some of your questions. Never mind. All right. So here is the strap collection. Oh, what's up, Ed? There's me and Michael Anthony at NAMM last year. So here's the strap collection. You have the 78 strap, the Gunner's belt, Ibanez Shark Destroyer strap, a couple of the Van Halen 2 straps. Got the zombie pin there for the one that he had. This red one with black tape, that is the one that he had on the Frankie back in '79. Got a banjo strap, which is what Eddie had on his 5150. And we have the Ernie Ball Music Man straps, obviously for those particular guitars. And they have the original clips that Eddie had on them. These are really hard to find. PV Wolfgang strap. Hef, I know you just got one. And then we got a couple of the EVH straps. And 07, 08, Eddie still had chrome hooks on it. And then around 2012 is when he went to the brass. So that's kind of what we have. And Scott Smith and myself and Adam Reaver at one of the EVH cons a few years ago. And got a couple of posters. Believe it or not, this roll and go keys is really, really cool. I really enjoy that. It's a lot of fun. So I'm not going to spend too much time on these, but we have a Les Paul, a Yngwie Strat, Telecaster, Kramer Farrington, and then the blue Kramer with a lawsuit headstock and the Godo gold crown heads that Craig did up for me. These were actually my son's shoes back in 1999. He did wear them a few times. So we have the 5150 Les Paul. Really cool guitar. That is not a real trans trim. It is a Steinberger bridge, but Eddie had a trans trim on his. Pretty neat guitar. This is a Kramer Farrington, not Farrington, a Kramer guitar that Eddie had with a Fernandez sustainer in it. This is just a replica. It's a parts guitar. It doesn't even really play. The multicolored tape Kramer. The yellow double neck. That is a fun guitar to play. Really, really cool. I've had that for a couple of years now. Steinberger GL2T trans trim. Completely rebuilt by Jeff Babbitt's, the guy that built Eddie's. Really, really, really awesome guitar. A little mini Les Paul, like what Eddie had for little guitars. Hot for Teacher guitar, little mini Strat. I customized the headstock myself. It was a Strat style, and I sanded it all down to make it look like kind of like what Eddie's did. Put the red logo on it. Had that custom made by a friend of mine. My Ernie Ball Music Man. Hey, what's up, Mr. Nesdal? Nez says, my buddy. This is a great guitar. This is my favorite Music Man I've ever owned. It is an EX, but I'll tell you, it plays better than any one I've ever had. And Mr. Nesdahl will agree to that. He has one, but before he got his, he played mine and he fell in love. This is a crazy guitar, and it's amazing. Has a Gatto Floyd on it, custom posts like Eddie had on his, and I had it professionally routed under the bridge like Eddie had on his. That does not come standard on any Music Man guitar, but I had that done to look like Eddie's. Circles guitar, really amazing replica, painted by Nick, the kid, and Delora. My VH1, custom Mark Blankenship pickguard, Gibson logo. These are original Schaller drop tabs, drop D heads on the back. My Rasta guitar, that is painted by Jerry Leica. My purple Music Man, pound cake drill. My Balance Tour PV Wolfgang prototype replica like Eddie played on the Balance Tour. I got this out visiting Dave Nesdahl last year. We stopped into a guitar shop one day, and there was this. And I'm like, wow, that's going to be my PV Balance guitar. It's a great playing guitar. It's a standard arch top. I love it. My Ibanez Shark Destroyer guitar. I'm just showing you guys the front of these right now. I'll show you the back later at another time. But this is a Donnie Ward custom build. Again, this used to belong to Nave Nesdahl. Dave Nesdahl, my buddy. Painted by Nick Amendolara. Bumblebee guitar. It is an EVH, but I've customized it. Those are actually Schaller double tabs on the back. I did the work to the headstock myself. Reliced it up. It's not an original pickguard. This is a Floyd Rose that I kind of altered to look like the one that Eddie had on his. Came out pretty cool. My Rude guitar. This is a 2-inch thick body, like Eddie's was. You can kind of tell it's real fat. Really, really cool guitar. Dan Electro style neck. The 5150 Tobacco that we already looked at. The Mighty Might Megazone Hydra guitar. Very cool. I always liked that guitar. The Green Special PV that you just saw. There's a picture of Eddie playing it. Let's see, this is Jimmy Ka's favorite guitar. And this is the Kramer Ad Frankie. It's got the Walker style body. Really, really cool guitar. Big fat horns on it. Chris Hubbard repainted this with me back in September. We did it together. Well, he did that, but I did a different one at the same time. Here's my Frankie, painted by Nick Amendolara. He did an amazing job. This was the first one that he painted after the real one, after he saw the real one at the Met. Really, really, really cool guitar. A couple of the Kramer necks that Eddie had on the Frankie over the years. The jump neck and the hockey stick neck. As you see in the number 4. Here's Eddie playing the number 4. Kind of a cool picture. The real number 4 is actually at the Philadelphia Hard Rock Cafe, and Hubbard and I saw it last year when we were there. We stopped by to see it. So it was really cool to see the real one. The blue headstock Frankie. I painted that one myself last year. Came out really cool. I'm very happy with it. Tried to nail that signature on there as best I could. Really came out cool. This is the 79 era white Charvel Star. This is not an EVH. This is a Chris Locke custom build. I painted it white because I wanted to go for the 79 era look. I know the real one didn't have fine tuners on it, but I wanted this to also be a player. This hole right here is a little knob that Eddie had stuck on there, so it would keep the bar from swinging around. It would actually keep it in place. Really cool neck on that one. My EVH Stealth. I have the tape on it, like Eddie had. Kill switch. It is a USA. It's the real deal. It's a really cool guitar. My Tour Relic, which is also a USA, custom done by Chris Hubbard. Really neat guitar. That's also fun to play. Here's Eddie playing it back in 2015. The Kramer Ad guitar, which Johnny Bean, Caleb from Nerd Halen, and myself were checking out at last year's NAMM in Los Angeles, Hard Rock Cafe. Very, very cool guitar. Painted by Chris Hubbard. This is the Vitas Gerulaitis Kramer, which Eddie gave to Vitas Gerulaitis back in '82. This is a custom job done by Nick Amendolara. Used to belong to Mr. Nesdal. Acquired by me. My Kramer 5150. My absolute favorite guitar. Done by Chris Hubbard. Has a whale tail Floyd on it. It's just a cool guitar. This is the Hot for Teacher guitar. It's all relict and really came out really cool. Chris did this one also. You can really see how he did a good job. Got the fogging really good on it. The 1984 Kramer. Again, a real cool one. It's got the 86 neck on it, the replacement neck. Nick Amendolara, the kid, did the relicing on the neck. Plays amazing. I did this one myself. This is the 85 Hard Rock giveaway. I did this one last year, painted it, pretty much built it, put it together myself. And it has the two-starred original neck that was on the 1984. We've told that story before. This is my new 918V that I did after Mr. Nesdal got my last one. And prior to that, Chad Wall got the other one. I just did this. This is also, I painted this myself also. This is a, let's see, this is a Chris Locke body and a Randy Butala pointy headstock tilt back maple neck. So hard to find those, but Chris Hubbard did this one. This is a Holy Grail Music Craft neck. And it's the bowling ball Red Cloud Kramer Ripley. It's not a real Ripley, but it's routed for it, so it could be. I would just need to put the hardware in, but it's basically just a one volume, one pickup guitar. This one is one that you see in Eddie's collection still. Another Ripley guitar. It's a Kramer with a baritone Ripley neck. It's not a real 24 fret neck. I kind of made it look like that myself. It's basically just a Kramer Beretta, essentially, that I kind of customized. And if you're real keen eyes, in the new book, Eruption in the Canyon, you can see Eddie had black tape on the side. No idea why, but of course, knowing me, I have to do that, right? So basically, oh, and this is the auction guitar. It's a wall hanger. It's not the real deal. Just cardboard. That idea came from Jimmy Ka. So here are the guitars. And the Dragon Snake is going to be hanging right here. That's where that's going to hang, just so you know. Here's my amp setup. Wet dry wet rig. PV 5150s. Combos on the side. That's where your separate delays go in your detune harmonize sound. Eventide time factor. That's what gives two separate delays to the PVs. The PS6 Harmonist, which still to my ear gives the best detune sound. Bray box, that's what basically allows you to go right into the cab versus using the effects loop for these two effects here, which allows the power head or the power amps to actually kick in. EVH 50 watt head, which is the dry. So wet, dry, wet. There's my pedal board. I have a Noise Gate MXR basic EVH gear, super octave, and yeah. And that is my rig. So let's go answer a couple of questions. If I can flip this back around again. Pics of the real 918V in the Discord. Johnny's right. There's some really awesome pictures of that guitar. Steve sent me the photos of it years ago. That's cool, Johnny, that's really awesome. Yeah, that is one guitar I would have loved to have had the real, Steve Ripley sign before he passed away. Rest in peace. Yeah, the Dragon Snake is going to be cool, Football Legends. I'm really looking forward to that one. That's funny because that's a guitar that I never really thought I'd do years ago. Up until recently, I was like, you know what? It'd be good for the collection. It would kind of round out the EVH collection because that's going to be the final Van Halen guitar I actually have for Van Halen guitars. Thank you, R2R3. Good to see you. Will you ever do a red Sammy Hagar red Kramer replica? Probably not that one, but one thing I would like to do is his yellow Kramer OU812 guitar. I've always loved that one. That's one that I might do one day. If it came down to just having one, which would you choose? The Stealth or the Ivory Relic? Probably the Ivory, if I had to choose between one of those two. If I had to choose between any of these guitars, it would be my Kramer 5150. And I try to sneak in the Steinberger Trans-Trem too. It'd be those. Are you thinking of doing any of the bumblebees that Wayne changed made for Eddie? Eddie using one in 1982 interview with Val. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Probably not. It's not really a guitar that Eddie really played. I mean, he played it with on that Entertainment Tonight show, but I'm pretty much done with all the Van Halen guitars. This is pretty much everything that I've ever wanted. Anything else is just cool, but I've pretty much got it right where I want it now once the Dragon Snake comes in and I get the Purple Music Man refinished. Brian May used star stickers like the one on the 918V. Was that the guitar around for the Starfleet recording? The Starfleet recording, no, that was the Frankenstrat with a Dan Electro Necky hat on it. Will ever do a blue Yamaha 1980 tour guitar? Oh, yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Hubbard did one, and our friend Scott Smith has that now. That's one maybe I could do one day, if I ever found that guitar. I mean, it's nothing I'm really looking to do, but maybe one day if I could grab one, for cheap. Love the OU812 Kramer. Yeah, that's my favorite Hagar guitar. You gonna do any of the Charvel Art Series copies he sold for charity? Nah, never really cared for those. They're cool, but I mean, nothing I'd really ever. They really weren't. Well, Eddie painted them and taped them. They are cool, and the story behind them is really awesome. But they're just nothing I really ever was interested in, honestly, for whatever reason. But anyways, guys and gals, I'm going to bounce, and just wanted to do a quick hello. And I'm going to get some better lighting the next video that I do. And I just wanted to jump on real quick and say hi and hope you guys are all doing well. Stay safe, okay? Keep out checking on my Instagram and Facebook. I'll keep posting some stuff up there of some new, some updates on the guitars and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to do a sound test with one of these videos of my wet, dry, wet rig, because you guys would like to hear that, I'm sure. And that 1980 guitar video, I think, would be cool. But you guys stay safe out there. Thank you for watching. Johnny, Dave, I need to catch up with the two of you guys soon, which we will. Dave and we talked this morning on the phone. But Johnny, I got to check in with you, see how you're doing. I just saw your Music Man video you did, was it last week or whatever it was? It was pretty cool with the fuzz sound going. That was pretty awesome. Love that guitar. But so I'll catch up with you guys. I want to say thank you to everybody. For those of you that just tuned in, go ahead and rewind or start the video again. You can check the whole thing out, and I will be doing more videos. So now that I'm pretty much settled in, thank you guys so much. Everybody stay safe with this virus out there, okay? and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye, guys.